So this is my 97 Nissan Safari Spirit. You have probably seen it everywhere at the moment on the channel and the socials, but we are not talking about it today. We're talking about this, another GU short wheelbase patrol. Now, it is actually the same. It is a Safari, but this time it's in a million pieces. Now, if you've been around for a while, you may know what this is, or if you saw this video, you likely saw this in the background while we were chatting about our GU short bases, but this is not mine. But I do know the person who owns this and is building this at the moment. It is my brother, my very pedantic brother at that. So yeah, this is a 1998 Nissan Safari Spirit Type 2. Much like the same as that one, this vehicle here. The difference? Well, there's one very key difference. What the hell? It's an automatic. But don't let that stop you. My brother assures me that this is going to be one of the best vehicles off-road, and he assures me it's going to be even better to drive on-road and off-road, but we'll see. The RE4 is quite a slush box. So what's the story with this? Well, in 2022, I'd owned that for about a year. I just finished building it, got it complied, and my brother, who was driving a Mini Cooper at the time, he wanted to get in the full driving scene, and he really liked that and how it drove. I took him on a couple drives. He thought they were so cool. So I helped him import this. Now, this is a Japan vehicle, didn't come from New Zealand. However, we got this through a dealer over there. So this wasn't an auction vehicle. And the story is, we found this on GUNet. It's probably one of the main dealer websites for international buyers for JDM vehicles. And we look at the photos, it was pretty, it was definitely a fixer-upper, but you know, with what I'd been through with that, and my brother, shout out to him, he did help me out a lot with that vehicle over there. We knew that this was likely going to be a build vehicle, not a straight to the road type vehicle. So kept that in mind when we did a video call with the dealer, and it was kind of rough. It had cigarette stained trim, and had some really disgusting like oil, some kind of anti-salt corrosion material on there. Like, it was just a very dirty vehicle, but you know, we figured this was worth it. Did end up being cheaper than my vehicle, so it was I paid about 13 base for the blue one. This one ended up being 10 grand Australian base, not including importing or shipping. What was funny was when we went to inspect it physically, my importer that is, and you know, basically work out a price, we ended up getting a price, we ended up getting 1,000 off. This was actually 11 grand base, but we got it down to 10,000 Australian. And if you know anything about dealing with dealers, bargaining is not really a thing over there. You can't really bargain dealers down. They really don't like it, especially foreigners. But our importer, bless him, shout out Nihon Imports, he did a great job getting the price down. And I think there was a good reason to get the price down, because we'll show you the photos, but yeah, the ceiling was completely covered in smoke. Well, it was obviously a smoker's car, just grime everywhere. My brother will tell you soon. This was a strangely different condition to that. This, I'd say, had, you know, poor body work, as in the clear coat was peeling, the bottom half of the gold was quite faded, and you know, rust, and the chassis was quite, you know, surface rust-ish, as well as the underbody. Not to mention there was also radiator support rust as well. You know, this was a couple different things, but really this has been sort of the opposite of that, in terms of the chassis was pretty mint, there was no rust in the radiator support, and the main issues were, you know, this was a bit rusty here, but the engine bay was pretty good. But the main issue was that it was a smoker's car. Just, you know, just the ceiling was absolutely caked in, I don't know, just grime. Grime is probably the best word. And the interior was just not a nice place to be in. It just smelt. It was just disgusting. And you know, my brother, being the pedantic that he is, stripped it out and did everything again to get all the grime out. He pressure washed it, oxygenated it, just every interior cleaning trick in the book he did to get this as clean as possible, and he's done a mint job. Basically, this is the status of the vehicle. So this was a 97. I want to say this was a 98. I think it was a March 1998. 4-speed automatic. Kilometers, about 200-ish on the clock. Imported this in 2022, and that was in 2022, 3 years ago, and it's still being built. So I think this is a update video, I guess, on where the build is at. What's also been done is the entire chassis completely repainted. Honestly, it looks amazing. It's gonna hold up pretty well. New body mount bolts as well, because they were completely rusted out, surprisingly, but the radiator support wasn't. Coming to the engine bay, like I said, firewall was pretty shit looking, been repainted, resprayed, as well as all of this panel, which, look, I wouldn't have done, but my brother, like I said, very pedantic. This brake booster, vacuum booster thingy, I forget what they do, has been repainted. This has been really nicely polished. I will say this is nice. It'll look good. If it wasn't obvious, still the same RD28 engine. It's gonna be super slow with this 4-speed automatic, but my brother, he is insistent that it'll be the best version of forward driving compared to the 5-speed manual on that thing, but we'll see. Brand new condenser, as well as a brand new compressor and alternator. All three of them were completely shot. They were just, didn't work. There was no aircon, didn't even have gas in it. The previous owner obviously was pretty lacking in that regard. Still need to find that bracket because I lost it for him. Battery tray has been repainted. Coming to the windscreen, it's got pretty bad water stains. It's got pretty bad water stains, which he's got a tough choice whether to rip this out and get a new windscreen or just try and buff it out. But that's a future job. He also had to get new wiper arms, not these wiper arms, but those wiper arms that actually go back and forth. That was also completely shot. It was also not working when we got it. So yeah, already on the front end, a lot has already been done. This white here, not the same as the white Australia got delivered in. So this is QT1, this is the pearl white. Australian delivered Patrols got polar white, which was a much more subtle, blunt white, I assume. So it's got this really nice shine. You can't really tell because it's very dusty, but it is such a nice color. And when it's all back together, it's all gonna be worth it, worth looking at. Coming down here, Superior Engineering 2-inch shocks and coils. I believe that's from Patrol Apart. That's also new. That was pretty clapped when we got it. Got a fresh set of the OEM alloys. Take with that with what you will. He and I really love the OG stuff. As you can see, this was the previous owner's tires, and look at that. He really drove this thing till it just couldn't be driven anymore. Very, very cracked. Okay, coming to, well, the door. My brother, for some reason, decided to take this trim piece off, and he ended up breaking one of the tabs. So there's a new tab there. He'll have to put that back on at some point. Coming to the mirrors, this is brand new. Well, both sides actually, brand new mirrors. They were also completely water stained. He couldn't get them out. I think the motors, actually the motor also didn't work. So it was like a dual, like fix, like get both of them done sort of job. So that wasn't particularly cheap either, considering that to come from UAE. Coming to the interior, these are pretty worn. It's not very well. You can't really see it here well, but like it's very faded. It's probably typical of what you'd see in Australia, but for Japan, it's kind of sad how worn it is, but he's got brand new ones as well. Here comes the interior, which is arguably what has the most work has been done on. So as a base for what's already underneath here is this stuff, the car builders. So it'll be really, really quiet when he's got that 2-inch exhaust on. He's also got a JBL setup ready. There's the, I'm not a sound guy, but I want to say it's the bass. He's already got some Gauge clusters ready as well, just so you can keep an eye on the engine. Nothing performance related really. Like I said, 4-speed automatic. We're going to see how good that is. Steering wheel, pretty clapped. I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty cracked on top, which is not, again, not unlike typical Japanese Safaris. They're usually a pretty good condition, but yeah, unfortunately this one was pretty clapped. And you can't even get this steering wheel brand new from Nissan anymore, which is a shame. So he's not sure what we're going to do there. Maybe a new steering wheel, maybe we get it from a wreck, but every wreck here in Australia is just absolutely clapped, so may not be viable. Here's something different, a little furry, fluffy cloth centerpiece. This was Japan only, I believe. So it's different to the hard plastic. It's nice, it's whatever. The center console, he's got a Kenwood installed. You may see as well, there is a, there is a diff lock switch over there, but it's completely fake. It is just a stand-in. We got that from a wrecker. There is a locker to be put in the future. Whether it's front or rear, we'll see, but we're hoping to wire it up so it looks just like the OEM. And you may have noticed it's got a sunroof. Now, I'm not sure how rare the sunroof models are of short wheelbases, but this is still really cool. And I think it's pretty cool that, you know, with his Defender that he has already, which also has a sunroof and is also white, he also has another white car with a sunroof. It's currently not working at the moment. He took this out because he was quite pedantic about the seal. This seal here, that is a brand new seal from Nissan. We're probably going to get an auto electrician to check out to see what's wrong with this. Love to get this working, but yeah, very cool. Coming to the back, we have a K-on bracket to put on the rear door. Oh, that trim is also brand new because he just really wanted it. Repainted wiper arm there, as well as a repainted wheel carrier. Yeah, there's the bracket, GME stubby antenna, like very much similar as mine. Such an awesome unit. I love how subtle these units are. The back here, a couple scratches here. Otherwise, this bag, pretty mint. It's in really good condition. The roof rails here as well. I don't know if you can tell, but some rust has obviously ate through that. So we've treated that and repainted it. This rubber is also brand new. This is in really good nick as well. The back, watch a little bit of a ding there, which he was a bit cranky about. Here's some other stuff that are just laying around. There's the intercooler, nice and polished, ready to go. Front bumper redone. Now, my brother, he's gonna keep the front bumper, and we're gonna do, well, me as well in the future, we're gonna do a stealth look with winches. We've got a PDX Mark IV electric winch. So there's his, there's mine. And can't really see it or find it, but there is a bracket. I'll take a photo that can hold these, although there might be a bit of an issue fitting them in the bumper, but it has been done and it is doable. And well, here is where all the body parts are. So here is the front bumper, pretty gnarly scratch there, but he's gonna just probably paint pen this, because if you know your automotive painting, you'd know that matching pearl white is very difficult, and unfortunately it's just, you gotta like take some compromise here. Do you completely sand this down and risk this not matching with, you know, the rest of the car? So we're just gonna paint pen it. That's unfortunately the compromise of pearl white. It's a nice color, but you know, if you scratch it, good luck trying to paint match it. Here are the bumpers. Yeah, that's probably the biggest scuff here. You could probably sand this down and polish it. Here are the front, you know, these attach to the front bumper. These are in pretty good nick. There's a decent scratch there. Again, all very polishable. Here's the rest of the back interior. There's the frames for the rear windows as well as seats. And we'll know the front seat was completely clapped out. And we also reupholstered our driver's seat because it had cigarette holes in them. Well, typical cigarette smoking people. They can't help but putting holes in their seats. And bought a wrecked version that had a nicer cloth and reupholstered with that with brand new cushion. That looks mint. It's got the seat covers on, same as mine. Here are the guards and flares. Rubbers are pretty clapped, like you can see that cracking, very old. There's the tow bar there, ready to be put on. You can just see it, but there's the mirror that will be going on. Also, damn you Kiwis for ripping them all off. They are now impossible to find. If you own one or have one in stock, please tell me. Here is the oil pans, Figure the Devil, been repainted. Got a new seal for it as well. Yeah, look, again, not something I would have done, but yeah, he really likes painting things. There is the other tail shaft. Those are my bedrocks. He's done a pretty good job. That's ready to go back in at some point. Here are his side steps and rear steps. Just like me, got that re-illuminized. That can go back on pretty much as well. And here it is, a bunch of a lot of random miscellaneous stuff that needs to go back in, like that's part of the top head unit for the compass. That's for one of the doors. I think some of this is mine, low-key. What's the fun stuff? Oh yeah, it's the brand new flare seals. Unfortunately, they're so rare to find now that we couldn't get the rear right one in white. So had to get one in black, and we're gonna have to somehow match it with the white. Which I will say, this is not pearl white. This is actually more of a polar white, and it's similar to the color that Oz Delivered Patrols got. So I'm pretty certain we can match that pretty well. But yeah, for comparison, here's the white one. Man, straight up, you can't buy this anymore, and Darcy will attest to that. Here is the plates that go underneath the headlights. Here are the sway bars. They can go back in pretty much. There is the roof rail, plastic chrome attachment thingies. And, well, I guess probably the most special thing out of this is this. I'll show you a photo, but this is the original Safari spotlight mount that's housed fog lights. It's really cool. It's gonna need a bit of resto. Made it out of fiberglass, obviously. I want to say there is a crack somewhere, but yeah, really, really cool piece. Really cool piece of Nissan history that unfortunately a lot of people just chucked out, so this is quite rare to find. There's the bumper piece. You can see it's got a bunch of glue stuff attached, so it would stick to this. There's the side piece trim. There's the brand new kicker plate and a brand new grille ready to go in as well. Coming back underneath, here is the interior. Coming back underneath, just to give you an idea of how much we've touched underneath. The underbody does not look like that usually. It's usually like black. He decided to paint it in pearl white, so it looks absolutely mint. Rear diff, the other tail shaft has been painted, as well as springs, trailing arms, and the fuel tank. Superior engineering shocks at the back again, 2-inch coils at the back. But yeah, looks absolutely mint. There's the front if you're interested. I think the transfer case has been polished as well. New rear body mounts as well. You can see from the back, they always crack. Mine were cracked, Darcy's were cracked, his were cracked. This don't last very long, surprisingly. The windscreen kicker, this had pretty bad clear coat damage. This was probably the only, I'd say, super damaged paint-wise part on the whole body, which is a testament to, I guess, the paint. Paint held up a lot better than mine. So yeah, this is probably the only properly repainted part. Well, I won't say that because the roof rails have all been redone or repainted, I say, so that it's all fresh to keep out the rust on beach days. So it's all been redone, really painted, nice and sealed. So we'll keep it out nicely. Thing is, it's not completely matched with the original paint, so that's the difficult issue. I don't know if you can see there, but there's a bit of drip there that'll have to sand down and shave. There's the dealer sticker, very cool. Unfortunately, the badges have seen better days and you can't buy them brand new, so we're going to see if we can put some black, I guess, paint or sticker. There's a bit of chrome peeling on that as well. All right, to the back, like I said, the diff has been painted, bit of overspray on the brakes, but yeah, fuel tank and bash plate have been done. Looks absolutely mint, and unfortunately it may be too mint because he may not want to ever take this out on a trail ever. So yeah, this is probably the current state of the third GU. Now, why am I telling you all this and not my brother? Well, my brother, and this is the reason why it's taken 3 years to even get here. My brother is an engineering student and he obviously doesn't have a lot of time on his hands, so he's just been slowly tinkering away at this, as well as my help as well here and there. So it'd be awesome to see this on the road by New Year's, but there's a lot to do, and the time I'm filming this is late October, so it'd be a big effort if we could do it, but never know. My key thing I'm excited for is the difference between these two vehicles. How are they going to drive? I mean, that has a 2-inch lift, but he's also putting 285s on it as well, same as this car. And I'd be keen to see if the auto really does drive as good as he is raging to be. I still think the manual is still really good. You can really control it. Even if the RD28 is very lacking in low-end torque, it's still a great vehicle to drive. So who knows, maybe the auto is just more user-friendly on off-road, but we'll see. So this has been Geebus. Stick around if you want to see more builds of this. And if you want to see this driven more, we've got a couple more trips for the year planned. It's been so awesome meeting all you guys and talking all things short-wheelbase GU. Want to see this built even further? Subscribe to Geebus. And remember, when in doubt, Geeb out.